Long ago, in a powerful kingdom in West Africa, there lived a young girl whose life began in hardship and sorrow. Her name was Amara. No one in the palace knew exactly where she came from. Some said she had been captured when her village was attacked. Others believed she had been sold by traveling traders. But one thing was certain. Amara was a slave. She lived and worked inside the royal palace of King Adesina, one of the most powerful kings in the region. The palace was a place of beauty and power. Tall, red walls surrounded it. Inside were large courtyards, carved wooden pillars, and guards standing proudly with spears. Nobles and chiefs walked through the palace wearing fine clothing and coral beads. But for the slaves, life was very different. They woke up before sunrise every morning. They carried heavy pots of water from the river. They cleaned the palace floors and cooked food for the royal family. And most of the time, they were treated as if they did not matter. Amara was only 15 years old, but she worked harder than anyone else. Yet, there was something unusual about her. She was always observing. She listened carefully whenever elders spoke. She remembered everything she heard. And most importantly, she never allowed her difficult life to break her spirit. Some of the other servants laughed at her. "Look at the slave girl," they mocked. "She walks as if she is someone important." But Amara never argued. She simply smiled and continued her work. Deep inside her heart, she believed that one day her life would change. Then what happened? The rain stopped falling. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The farms across the kingdom began to dry. The rivers grew smaller. Soon, the people started to suffer. Villagers traveled to the capital begging the king for help. "My king, our farms are dying. Our children are hungry." Inside the palace, King Adesina called a meeting with his chiefs and advisors. "What can we do to save the kingdom?" he asked. The chiefs argued among themselves. Some blamed the spirits. Others blamed neighboring kingdoms. But no one had a real solution. Meanwhile, Amara continued her work quietly. One afternoon, she was sweeping the courtyard near the royal meeting hall when she overheard the chiefs arguing again. She hesitated. Then she made a bold decision. She stepped forward and bowed respectfully. "My king," she said. The room fell silent. A slave girl had interrupted the royal court. One chief shouted angrily, "How dare a slave speak before the king?" But King Adesina raised his hand. "Let her speak." Amara bowed again. "My king, in my old village, the farmers once faced a drought like this." The chief stared at her with disbelief. "And what did they do?" The king asked. Amara explained how the villagers had dug deep water channels from a nearby river to bring water to their dry farms. It was a simple idea, but it was also a powerful one. The king ordered the farmers to try Amara's suggestion. Soon, hundreds of workers began digging channels across the farmlands. Within weeks, water flowed again. The crops slowly began to grow. The kingdom was saved from famine. The people celebrated. And the king never forgot the slave girl who had helped his kingdom. "Who is she?" he asked. When he learned Amara was a slave, he made an unusual decision. From that day forward, Amara would work inside the palace as a royal assistant. Many chiefs were not happy. A slave advising the king. They complained. But Amara continued to prove herself. Whenever the kingdom faced a challenge, she offered wise ideas. Years passed. Amara grew into a strong and intelligent woman. Slowly, the people of the kingdom began to respect her. But one day, tragedy struck the palace. Queen Abeni became very ill. The royal healers tried every medicine they knew. Nothing worked. The palace fell into sadness. The king feared he might lose his beloved queen. Then Amara remembered something. Many years earlier, she had seen a rare healing plant deep inside the forest. She asked the king for permission to search for it. For 2 days, she traveled through thick forests and crossed rivers. Finally, she found the plant. She rushed back to the palace. The healers prepared the medicine carefully. Slowly, the queen began to recover. The palace erupted with joy. King Adesina looked at Amara with deep gratitude. "You have saved my kingdom from hunger," he said. "And now you have saved my queen." He stood before the royal court. "I cannot allow this woman to remain a slave." The crowd gasped. From today, Amara is free. But the king was not finished. He turned to her and spoke words that shocked the entire kingdom. "Your wisdom, courage, and kindness have helped my people again and again. I believe the spirits have chosen you for something greater." Then the king made a historic decision. He asked Amara to become his queen. The chiefs whispered in disbelief. A former slave becoming queen. But the people supported the king's choice. They trusted Amara. They had seen her wisdom. And so, the girl who once swept palace floors became Queen Amara. As queen, she ruled with compassion and intelligence. She helped farmers improve their lands. She built schools for children. She protected the poor and cared for the weak. Under her leadership, the kingdom became stronger than ever before. And the people never forgot her story. The slave girl everyone mocked became the queen who ruled the kingdom with wisdom and kindness. And her name would live forever in the history of the land. Queen Amara.